At the far edges of Britain, where the sea begins to feel endless and the land appears almost hesitant, life continues in a way that modern maps don't quite capture. These places are not forgotten. They are simply far enough away that ordinary routines loosen, replaced by rhythms shaped by weather, patience, and community. Across Britain's scattered northern waters and western approaches lie some of the country's most remote inhabited islands, quiet settlements where life has learned to bend with the wind. Reaching them is rarely simple. Ferries sail when the tide and sky agree, and small aircraft land only when the runway, the wind, and the clouds reach a temporary understanding. Here, certainty is a luxury, and flexibility is a way of life. The landscape tells its story immediately. Cliffs rising without ceremony, fields tilting toward the weather, and houses sitting low and close together, shaped by generations who understood exactly how much shelter the land could offer. Everything looks placed with intention, because over time, necessity becomes wisdom. On islands such as Foula, Fair Isle, and the far reaches of the Isles of Scilly, communities remain small, sometimes only a few dozen people, but deeply connected. Fair Isle, for example, home to roughly 60 residents, is one of the UK's most weather-dependent communities, where travel can pause for days and the line between arriving soon and arriving eventually is often left to the sea to decide. Here, news travels quickly, not through urgency, but through closeness. A missed ferry is noticed. A neighbour not seen that morning is quietly checked on. Daily life follows patterns most of Britain no longer pays attention to. Tides guide timings, daylight shapes the pace, and weather forecasts are studied not as a curiosity but as a practical guide to the week ahead. Shops open around deliveries, tasks are completed when conditions allow, and silence is not a gap to be filled. It is part of the rhythm of the day. Work remains practical and shared. Fishing, conservation, and small-scale farming form the foundations, while tourism is approached with care to protect the character of these islands. Remote digital work has reached some communities too, though even that bends to local infrastructure and weather conditions. Roles overlap, skills blend, and reliability matters more than specialization. Weather remains the most constant presence. When the wind finally drops, relief spreads quietly, felt more than spoken. Culture here is shaped by usefulness, tradition, and time. Stories are shared during long winters, accents soften but still carry the history of the place, and footpaths pressed into the earth trace roots older than memory. Abandoned crofts, stone walls, and remnants of earlier settlements remind residents that island life has always required both resilience and care. Some histories carry heavier weight. St Kilda, evacuated in 1930, stands as a reminder that remoteness can sustain life only within balance. Elsewhere, that balance continues as modern technology is welcomed carefully. Broadband lines follow old boundaries, renewable energy supports fragile systems, and innovation arrives slowly, tested thoughtfully, and kept only when it supports island life rather than reshapes it. People stay not for spectacle or novelty, but because there is space to breathe, because community is real and dependable, and because the land and sea, demanding as they are, offer clarity instead of noise. These islands are not hidden and they do not ask to be discovered. They simply continue, quietly, steadily, at Britain's edge, reminding us that another rhythm of life is still possible if we are willing to listen. That, my friend, is the British way.